We are truly unlimited, and this is my favorite part about being a human being is once we realize that if we can see it in our mind, we can hold it in our hand, if we can focus our energy enough in the green zone energy space to where we can allow momentum to increase and increase until we start seeing evidence of the stories that we're telling in our physical reality, and we can flow even more energy and even more energy in that we are always expanding, always desiring more because of the experiences that we have in our life, both wanted and unwanted, giving us a clear picture day by day, moment by moment, year by year, forever, as long as we're here, of what we truly desire. And then it's up to us to allow our energy to become just like that energy of the things that we desire. And as soon as our energy becomes a match, we see those things in our visible reality. And this is all law. And so I'm so excited for all of us to continue this journey together, and knowing that next year, next month, next week, we're going to have new desires because of all the experiences that we're having this week, this year, and this month. And that's how it will always be. So super excited for us. We truly are unlimited. We can be, do, and have anything. And that will always be the case. That is universal law. 95% of our thoughts are repetitive. Now, what does this mean? Very interesting. By the time we turn 30 years old, the human brain has got to the point where we've thought at that point trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of thoughts, as you can imagine. And by the time we turn 30 years old, you have thought so many thoughts that 95% of these have become habits. Meaning, when you look at that green zone chart, you can ask yourself and be honest with yourself, where right now do you spend the majority of your time in that chart? Is it in the green? Is it in the yellow? Is it in the red? Doesn't matter the answer, you are where you are. And if you're over 30 years old, statistically, the human brain says that 95% of that has already been predetermined by the time you wake up in the morning. That's become your habit of thought, and that's become your belief. That becomes the story that you're telling, because remember, all the belief is a thought that you think over and over and over again. And so if 95% of your thoughts on a daily basis are habitual, then it's very predictable what your life looks like now as a result of those thoughts, and what your life will continue to look like unless you become aware of it, which you become aware of it now and decide to consciously change your 95%, which we'll talk about here in a moment. And so ask yourself, where are you at on that chart? And you are somewhere 95% of the time. Say it's somewhere in the yellow zone. Well, is that where you want to stay, knowing that from the yellow zone, all you can do is attract more of what is? Now, if everything that you see around you as far as what is exactly what you want to see, then fantastic. Keep focusing on it and you'll keep attracting more and more and more of that. But if you're like most, we're always wanting more. We're always desiring more. And so being in that yellow zone and definitely being in that red zone, it's not going to get it done. It's not going to allow us to attract exactly what it is that we want to be, do, and have. And so now ask yourself, where would you like to be when it comes to the green zone chart? Where would you want to see yourself on a daily basis? Where would you like your new 95% to be? And we're not going to go above 95% because we're all humans and we can all focus on something that is unwanted and find ourselves down in the red zone. That goes for every single one of us. The key is to be aware when we are dipping down, where our momentum is sliding down, so we could stop it prior to it getting down deep into the red zone, and we can do something about it and moving it towards the green. So now ask yourself, where would you like to be? And we're going to talk about how to rewire that 95% to where you can spend 95% of your time in that green zone all day long, where you're a magnet. And as you're going through life, you're attracting the people, places, the circumstances, the conversations, all those synchronicities. You're aware of them because your energy is like attract like. You're attracting other green zone things, other people, other situations, other things that are the next logical step in your journey to where you want to be, do, and have everything coming into your reality. So now that you have that answer, where do you want to be in that green zone chart? Well, a lot of you probably said joyful or love or passion. Whatever it is that you said, just like everything else, here's how we're going to turn our new 95% into what you just answered. And so you have that clear picture of where it is that you'd like to see yourself in that green zone chart on a daily basis. You have that clear picture now. How do you know this? Because of all the experiences that you've had in your life up until today, where you're more clear than ever, knowing that you've had experiences that are both wanted and unwanted, and it's produced the life that you're living currently right here and now, knowing that you want more, you desire more things that you want to be, do, and have. We're going to have to change our state of being. We're going to have to go into a new place in that green zone chart, which is the answer to the question that you just asked yourself, as far as where would you like your new 95% to be. So let's say that it's passion. Knowing that you are at this point right now in your life, and that the desired place that you like your new 95% is to be in passion. So all we're going to do is we're going to not need to know the how, the when, the where, the what it's going to look like, how we're going to get there, what it's going to look like. We're not going to need to know all those details, because those details are just going to land us down in the red zone and worried and fearful and doubtful and anxious. So we're not going to go there. We're going to know that by being in this green zone energy, by feeling what it would feel like to be in passion. So I want you to capture the energy right now. I want you to visualize yourself. I want you to see yourself in passion. I want you to really feel what it would feel like to be passionate. Maybe think about something that you love doing, that you know that you have that feeling of passion. I want you to grab that feeling though. And when you grab that feeling, I want you to hold on to that energy. We're gonna allow ourselves to remember what this energy feels like. And once you have this energy and you have a really, really good feeling of what that feels like, we're going to get excited to just live our day in that energy. And we're going to see how long we can go in that energy during the day. The easiest way to do this, and we talked a little bit about the 1 minute appreciation challenge. The easiest way to do this is by doing it first thing in the morning. Right when we wake up, the first thoughts that we think, we're a clean slate. There's no momentum going behind us, so we can decide where we want our place in the green zone chart to be right off the bat. So we want it to be in passion, just based off of this example. And so we want it to be in passion. So immediately we're going to wake up. We're going to think about things that we appreciate. We're going to appreciate waking up. We're going to appreciate having a warm bed to sleep in. We're going to appreciate having food to eat. We're going to find everything that we can to appreciate. And then we're going to channel that energy of passion. We're going to think about the things that you just thought about just now, to where you can see yourself as that passionate person doing those things that you're passionate about. And we're going to see that, and we're going to allow momentum to increase and momentum to increase and momentum to increase until you're feeling so passionate in these moments that that's all you feel. That's your whole total being, is that feeling of passion. And now we're going to go live our lives from this state of being. And we're going to go spend our morning. We're going to go spend our afternoon. Now, let me caution, because we're rewiring our 95% right now, we're not going to expect ourselves to be able to stay in that feeling of passion all day long, day one of this challenge. That if you do it, fantastic. We're unlimited. We can be, do, and have anything, but we're not going to be hard on ourselves, because no one's ever been in a state of passion and beat themselves up at the same time. It doesn't work. So we're going to live this day as long as we can, as far as we can into the day, in this energy of appreciation, in this energy of passion. And if we slip up, we're going to be aware that we slip up, and we're just going to have our intention. I know I want to be in passion, so it's momentum. So I'm going to allow myself to do those things and think about those things that I know put me back in the green zone, and we're going to go from there. All we're looking for here is awareness. We're going to live our day. We're going to live our day. Don't beat yourself up. Maybe you start the day in passion, but you live the rest of the day maybe somewhere in that yellow zone, or maybe even parts of the day in the red zone. It's okay, because tomorrow when we wake up, when we sleep, when we start a clean slate, we're going to do it again. And we're going to start off in appreciation. We're going to find those things to appreciate. We're going to let our energy build. We're going to let our energy build. And then we're going to know that we set the intention to be in passion. So we're going to think about those things that will make us passionate, and think about us being a passionate person and feeling that energy. And then we're going to feel it. It's going to be powerful. And then we're going to go live our day. What's going to happen as we're doing this is you're going to start seeing a lot of really amazing synchronicities flowing into your experience day by day, moment by moment, because of the energy. That's what you're attracting. You're magnetic to that. And today you actually probably will be able to go a little bit further than you did yesterday. Before, you might get thrown off by the world or things that, your old 95%. Remember, we're rewiring this. So you have an old 95% that is trying to get in there. 95% is the large majority of your thoughts and the way that you think, your habitual state of being. So we're not going to beat ourselves up at all when that 95% tries to come in there and pull us down. That's okay, because all we want is this second day. We want to see how far we can get in the day in this energy of appreciation, in this energy of passion. And if something throws us off, that's okay. We're going to be aware of it. We're going to set our intention of get in the green zone first, do everything else second, like we talked about. That is our dominant intent, because we know that we're magnetic when we're in that green zone and we're repelling everything that we want to be doing, have when we're not. And so we're going to make sure we get back in, and we're going to live the rest of our day. And then we're going to wake up tomorrow and we're going to do it again. And we're going to feel that energy of appreciation. We're going to feel that energy of passion, and we're going to be able to go longer into the day. Do this for a week. Do this for a month. Before we know it, this is going to become our new 95%, because we're rewiring our brain. We're setting new habits. We're thinking new thoughts, which is creating new beliefs, which is telling new stories and seeing new results, new experiences that are just all feeding off of each other, feeding off of each other, feeding off of each other. And again, we don't need to know the how, the when, the where, the who, the what all it looks like, all the details. We're not trying to figure that out. All that we have is set a powerful intention, and we become aware of where we are in the moment of now. And we're starting on a clean slate in the morning where we have no momentum going, and setting that momentum where we want it to be versus what comes naturally because of all the habits that we've created in the past. And if we do this before it even gets to 30 days time, you do this, set this habit, set this intention, no matter where you want to be on that chart. You might want to set your chart for blissful or euphoric, whatever it is. Whatever you want to spend that new 95%, this is what's going to become your new 95%. And you cannot create a new 95% in that green zone and not see your life change in every area. Everything that you want to be doing, have in health, everything that you want to be doing, have in relationships, everything that you want to be doing, have in finances, you'll start seeing evidence of. And once you see evidence of, we're going to appreciate all of those evidences, and we're going to intensify the energy even more, intensify the momentum even more, until all that we can see around us in every area of life is momentum building. And we're going to be appreciative, and then we're going to be appreciative. We're going to see more momentum. We're going to be appreciative. If we can milk all of these evidences that we see, as we see our stories turn from thoughts to things, and we milk it, and we milk it in appreciation, and we see it grow and grow and grow, we'll see evidence in every area of our life. Everything that we want to be, do, and have will come into fruition rapidly, in perfect timing, in ways that will surprise and delight us. This is always universal law, and this always will be universal law. We can rewire our 95%. We can do it together. I'm so excited for all of us. Let's do it.